right, it's Friday.
Hey everybody, it's Friday. It's Friday. TGIF. It is Friday.
Ooh.
We are here. We are at the weekend, right on the cusp of the weekend.
Yes.
5 o'clock somewhere, so it's weekend for somebody. But thank you for joining us for another episode of A Blind Guy,
His wife,
Their Life
Live.
And we are here for you every Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday at
Eastern Standard Time.
At Eastern Standard Time?
Eastern Standard Time, 11:15 a.m. Well, because it's 11:15 for us, but we gotta say the Eastern Standard Time first.
It's the British way, where you put the thing in front of the time. So
I don't even know how to tell time or date any other way. The rest of the world does things. They definitely do things differently,
so we are here for you every Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday at 11:15 a.m. Eastern Standard Time.
I just know it's Friday, Corey. That's all I'm excited about. Guys, we made it. We counted you down to the weekend. We are here.
And we have a great show for you as usual. We spend a half hour or so with some fabulous people we've met through our personal and professional networks. Today is no exception.
I'm so excited, Corey. Let me tell you, I'm just going to sit here and read my book.
After we do our 5-minute story for the day, we're gonna introduce you to a great financial empowerment coach. He is none other than Mr. Rahkim Sabree. So we're gonna bring him in to say good morning.
Author of the book that I'm holding here. All right, let's say good morning.
Good morning, everybody.
Good morning. How are you today?
I'm doing well. How are you?
Doing great. Well, we can't wait to hear from you and hear your wonderful story, and also to get some tips from you about financial empowerment.
Financial empowerment, because this book is titled Financially Irresponsible. So you're teaching us not to be financially irresponsible, but how to be responsible through your work and all of those good things, right?
Absolutely.
All right, Corey. So we're going to learn how to be responsible today. Not what the kids and all of them do. So let's see you later. All right.
Okay.
This is cool.
And of course, we always have our special plant-based treat of the day by Chef LaQuita Marie.
Oh yeah.
Did you get a sneak preview this morning?
I say we give them a sneak peek at the plant-based treat. Yeah, you guys know I'm always working on my skills, rhyming skills. My cooking skills are tight. But the goal is to get you guys eating more fruits and vegetables every day. So let's see what we got cooking in the kitchen.
Sweet potato breakfast pie.
That's it, guys. Sweet potato breakfast. You heard it, a breakfast pie. You can eat pie for breakfast. Coco kept asking, can we get a pie? Can we have a pie? Can you make a pie? I'm like, yeah, I can make a pie. I've made plenty of pies.
The child's been loving pie ever since she's been able to eat solid food.
Yeah.
So she woke up from a nap one time at a performance we were doing. And then she woke up and said, I want some pie.
Yeah, and they sold pies in the store, a portion of that particular venue, and we had to go buy a pie. All right, Corey, let's get into the comments and say good morning.
Know that this broadcast is member supported by viewers like you.
It is.
You can support this broadcast by bum rushing the button.
You know what that means, guys.
Make sure you like,
thumbs up,
share, subscribe, and we want you to obliterate DDT, camel clutch, people's elbow.
I mean,
Jim Hacksaw Duckett that thing, so that it just is so. But it'll come back for the next day, though.
Got it. So, guys, the way you support this broadcast is you like it. When you hit the like button, it does help other people to find this information. Also, you can always visit our site for this particular channel, blindguyhiswife.com is scrolling right there at the bottom of the screen. And when you go to that site, it takes you to a fantastic place. So I'll take you there now. All you have to do is, I might drop the link in the chat. I don't know, it's in the description, but it's difficult for people to get there sometimes. So once you go to the site, it takes you to this page, buy me a coffee, support the production. And it even tells you what to do. Click the green coffee cup, scroll down a bit, it's there, you click it, it'll pop up, and there's a widget so that you can buy 1 coffee, 3 coffee, 5 coffees, or you can type in your own. Corey, it is Friday. I'm going to type in a number. Give me a number. I usually choose the number. Give me a
700 coffees.
700? Just a round number.
729.
729. I like it. And that would support the stream. You can leave your name, say something nice. It shows the monetary value that you're supporting the stream with. And keep in mind, we do have a 501c3 nonprofit organization. That's where the proceeds go for whenever you donate. So, of course, hey, Chef Sharon bought us 5 coffees. Kurt, Howard, you can see who else has purchased coffees, the messages that they've left, and of course, when you scroll around this page, it also tells you who we are, what we do, all of those good things. So, guys, hit up the site and enjoy.
All right, so we're now going to go ahead and start reading comments. LaQuita Marie always reads the comments to me since I can't see.
Yeah, Corey really is blind. We have to say his eyes don't work because you guys know how it goes. People are like, well, can he see light? Can he see shapes? Can he see? Nope, everything's black.
All y'all are black folks to me.
All of you are black. All right, according to Corey. So Sean Bright is saying, Grand Rising, fam. Corey, you were out at the store this morning.
Yes, shine bright. You are shining bright. It's nice weather this morning. I took a walk to the store this morning, and it's nice outside. So shine on, shine bright.
Yes. So we love it. Like the weather is good. Bill says grand day all. He's also saying hello to Shine Bright. She's saying hello to him as well. And so he didn't make first place, Corey, but you know, he's in there. Phil is in there.
All right.
He's working on some secret projects with us as well, guys. You know, he was on our show showing us all of his tips on how to smoke meats and smoke things. So we've got some tips coming for you from Phil, but you know, it's top secret now. Speaking of top secret, Real Talk with Ntabi is here saying,
Real Talk with Ntabi all the way from South Africa.
Yes, she's saying we are here. Happy Friday. You know, she has her own channel and she's my tech person. One of the many ways I have a lot of tech friends. I thought she was just like a motivational person. Come to find out, she has IL Designs. Like, I love designs. It stands for something else, but Google it, you guys. You'll see her work there. Deborah Green.
Deborah Green in the house.
We've got another money person in the building. So our guest today, Rahkim Sabree, he's an author. He's a financial coach. He's a speaker. However, Deborah Green is like a secret financial coach. Let me tell you, I saw her yesterday. She was featured dropping gems. She's on her way to traveling, moving around. So like she's about to move, Corey, like relocate, completely move to a whole nother country.
All right.
And so I'm gonna tell all her business. Y'all gotta find that out for yourself. But Phil says today is the day that Corey River Tap dances in his platinum flash dance leggings. You can do it for us one Friday, right?
One Friday. I'm gonna get you one day. I'm gonna actually show up and do it.
Someday. Hey there, Shay. She says virtual hugs all. Speaking of tech folks, we got all the tech folks here.
All right, Sugar Shay, sure is.
Yes, Shay is like another tech person. She's aware. She's a magical person. I won't tell all her business, but I will say a Kwaba fam. That's from the Ghanaian language of Twi. Our kids, our Watoto, they're in the chat giving you all the languages. And then Phil is saying hello to them. Hey, Quita Jr. talking to our kids. Hey, David Hunt. Look who's in the house.
David Hunt in the house, first to be in ninth.
He says we live. He didn't even try for a place today, Corey.
Oh, he didn't try for a place today. Okay.
No,
okay.
He just got, you know, like we are lit. It's Friday. He's got three flames, you know, one for Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Since we broadcast 3 days a week, 11:15 a.m. Eastern Standard Time.
You guys make sure you hit that like button as you come in.
Phil is laughing, and David is in there chatting it up with him. And Shine Bright says Phil wasn't saying hi. He was having, I beat him again. She's like, you know what? He's not laughing. He's having tears. He's just in there crying because you know she beat him in first place.
Right.
Our kids are laughing, and then she said he was hating. You know, she fixed it in the
hate.
Let the record show Shine Bright's a thug that runs around pimp slapping people in second place. So you know that's Phil, right?
That sounds about right.
Wishes he could have been first. Now he's talking trash. Hey, Kwame's trading. All the money people are here.
Kwame's trading in the house. David is in the house to hear from Mr. Rahkim Sabree.
Yes.
Thanks for joining us. Check out David's YouTube channel.
Hold on, Corey. Why you got all the crumbs in your mustache? What you been doing? Yeah, you was eating cookies at the store, weren't you?
No, I wasn't eating any cookies.
Brush it all side to side.
All right.
No, side to side, other side. Yeah. All right.
Okay.
Because I was trying to see if I could see it on the screen, but I could see it when I looked at you in real person. Most people watch it on a small device. They probably wouldn't have even noticed. So, guys, back to Kwame's Trading. His channel, You go there, you learn how to day trade, swing trade, all the tips. He has a Discord group. He's been featured on this channel a few times, and he was here last week for Financial Friday. So he's back in the room. Sugar Shay says, cool, having fun. Cool having folks on the continent chiming in. So Shay, right currently, she is still in Niger in Africa, whereas Ntabi is in South Africa, you know? And look at Real Talk with Ntabi. She says, Aquawa girls at the back there. You know, Ntabi speaks several languages, Corey, so we'll see if she can, you know, say hello to us in any other language. Shine Bright is laughing. And Phil says, I feel like the Washington team. I guess he means he's a loser. Is that what that means?
Well, no, he actually feels like a winner today because the Cowboys are losers. So
dang, you know what? That's just shady. Got our kids laughing, and then our kids are excited, like, "Ooh, she's in Niger, nice." I say we move it on, Corey, because we got to get our guest in here. I say we introduce him with a 5-minute story time.
All right, 5-minute story time. So this time, I very rarely listen to you. I had in mind one story I want to tell, but then I said, okay, I'll make my suggestion and I'll let you make a suggestion.
Okay, so which story were you thinking about?
Well, because Rahkim Sabree talks a lot about having a team, I thought about telling the story about a non-fee and 7 funds and for teamwork. But did you have a different one in mind?
I say, yeah, I got a different one in mind, but not one specifically. I just say go very brief. Like we need a quick story so we can hit them and get into get into the guest. Yeah. Because I was trying to think of like a money story that we had.
That's why I was trying to think of one.
But that one, that one where what's her name is cheating at the market and then she gets beat or he gets beat. I should say that.
I can tell that one. I'll just make it real quick.
You can tell that one
because
well, why don't we just direct them to the video? They can see it for themselves. Guys, that was one that we've done definitely as a story. Corey and I, over the years, we've told so many stories together. And then we also have the story that we've done as a story. It was done as a video. Like we had to green screen our holiday show. So instead of having our Kwanzaa stage play where we have, lights, a set and everything, we had to green screen it. So we still had a set, we still had actors, but I don't know if you can tell that story so quickly, Corey.
I think I can.
All right, I'm gonna give you 2 minutes. If y'all think y'all can't, think
2 minutes. I can't do it in 2 minutes.
That's my point. Like
I can do the line at the river in 2 minutes, and that's about being resourceful and using your brain.
I like it. I like it because David Hunt is looking at the shade that folks is throwing. He probably can feel the shade I'm throwing to you right now. Like Corey, you can't do that. Don't even try it. Hey, Ntabi giving us words. Dumela, that means hello in my language.
Okay.
Swala.
All right.
Nice. And then Shay is also saying Dumela to her, I'm learning so many languages just in one country. It's amazing how diverse we are. Get on with it, Corey.
All right, long ago, there was a time in animal land when the resources became very, very dry because Father Sun refused to let it rain. There was no water anywhere for the animals to drink except from the mighty rushing river. And there was only one calm spot in the river in order where they could get a drink. But that calm spot was guarded by a ferocious lion. And whenever an animal would come close to the river, he would jump from behind the bushes and roar, "How dare you come to my river?" The animals had to find a way to deal with the lion. The monkey decided he was going to go and he was going to try to fight the lion. When he got close, the lion jumped out from the bushes and yelled, "How dare you come to my river?" The monkey walked up and said, "Look, I'm hot and I'm thirsty, and I'm getting a drink of that water even if I have to take you on one-on-one." Well, the lion just laughed and did what Washington did to the Dallas Cowboys. He just smacked at that monkey, and the monkey rolled, tucked up, and rolled away. The monkey went back and told all his friends what had happened, and all the animals decided they had to do something. That's when the wise rabbit said, "We see our friend monkey got nowhere by fighting. One of us must go reason with the lion." So to decide who was going to go, they drew straws. The first short straw came to the chicken. The chicken looked at the straw, he clucked and flapped, and he said, I say, I ain't going, y'all." And the chicken, fainted from fear. They drew straws again, and the next short straw came to the turtle. The turtle looked at the straw and said, ducked into his shell and would not come out. The animals got together and drew straws again, and the next short straw came to the owl. The owl's eyes got wide, and he said, who, me? And flew up into the tree and would not come back down. Now, the rabbit had two choices, either let the problem go on or use his resources, which were his brain. He knew he couldn't fight the lion. He knew he could not run the lion, but he knew he was just as smart and a lot fluffier and cuter. So the rabbit hopped, hibbit to the hip hop, the rocky don't stop the rock all the way to the river. The lion jumped from behind the bushes and roared, "How dare you come to my river?" The rabbit scratched his head and said, "Your river? I think you need to turn around and get some advice from Mr. Rahkim Sabree about your real estate property, because it looks like that river already belongs to somebody else." And in the river was a green crocodile swimming around. The lion roared at the crocodile, but the crocodile just yawned and paid him no mind. And as the rabbit laughed and enjoyed the lion's embarrassment, the lion got so angry that he ran, he roared, he jumped into the river to fight the crocodile and landed right in the crocodile's jaws. And the crocodile swam down the river. And that night, the baby crocodiles enjoyed peanut butter and lion sandwiches for dinner. And the rabbit hop, hibbit to the hip hop all the way back to his friends. It led them to have a nice, cool, safe drink of water. So remember, when you face tough times, use your resources. Don't simply try to fight your way through it like the monkey. Don't hide from it like the turtle, and don't run away from it like the rabbit, and don't be overcome by the rabbit. I mean, like the owl, and don't be overcome by fear like the chicken. Be like the rabbit. Use your brains and find your resources to deal with your lion at the river.
So that way you can be financially responsible, socially responsible, all kinds of responsible, guys.
So that was our 5-minute story for the day.
We hope that you guys loved it, because it really introduces our guest who's coming in. Hey there, Allie, Corey, Allie from the three
pigs.
Yes, the three pigs.
Oh, okay.
Allie is in there.
Hey, Allie, all right.
And look at see. She directed that particular show that Corey wrote. XDMC says, "That's right, Corey. Tell the woman you need way more than 2 minutes."
XDMC.
He's talking about not down with the cricket.
Not a minute, man. Not a minute, man.
Right. See, Phil says you got tongue tied as you told him fishtail about the team beating the boys. XDMC in the building, and then David said, "What Washington did to the Cowboys? I'm dead." Laughing at the story. Everybody's chatting it up with each other. Shay is saying hello to XDMC. XDMC is chatting it up, and Phil is like, every day is still a holiday. And our kids are saying, "I like that story." Y'all were in that story. Y'all go to our channel. You'll see it. Harambe for the Holidays 2020. You'll see them on stage. I'm loving this story, Deborah says. We love you too, Deborah. And Hobby says she loves it. Phil says it's Flashdance Friday, XDMC. And our kids are saying, "I love the three pigs." So Corey, how do we bring our guest in? You got to get them in here.
All right. Well, today we have a special guest. He hasn't been here before, but he said it before. He never let poverty magnetize him no more. He's inviting us to be responsible. I am talking about author, financial empowerment coach, and speaker, Rahkim, the real Rahkim, Rahkim Sabree.
Thank you. And I have a quick story based off of that. I actually met Rahkim, the rapper.
Really?
And yeah, I did. My parents were driving to the Midwest, and we stopped at a rest stop. And my dad sees him, and he's like, "That's Rahkim." And I'm like, "No, it's not." And he's like, "Yes, it is." And I run up to his car and ask for his autograph. And so he asked me, what's my name and how do I spell it? And I said, "Oh, we have the same name. My name is Rahkim too, but I spelled my name the right way. I have an H in it." And he looked at my dad. looks at my dad, looks at me, and just kind of like shakes his head. And my dad is just like, this
What kind
kid
of
right
kid?
here.
Oh my goodness.
So yes,
So
the
how,
real Rakim. I'm the real
right,
Rakim.
right. We got it spelled the real way. You're the right one. Well, everybody's welcoming you, Shine Bright. Phil, they're like, welcome. And they got the H in there. You know, they got it spelled the right. The right. Did you get your signature?
The autograph.
Did he still give you the autograph?
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
All right, all right.
Do you still have it?
I don't. I don't. I was so
Oh,
young. Yeah, I don't know what happened to it.
Right. Well, you know, this is just phenomenal to have you here. Of course, we've got all your information scrolling at the bottom so that people can kind of like, hey, who is this guy if they don't know you, or if they know you, but they're like, yeah, I want to dig a little deeper. So, welcome from our kids there in the chat saying, welcome. Where do we even start? You have an intriguing story. Corey, where do you want to start? Because Kwame is also, you know, money man to money man. He's like, welcome, Rakim.
well,
And Shay is saying she's looking forward to your gems. Go ahead, Corey.
Rahkim is an author, a speaker, financial empowerment coach. He's got 2 books, and we have one of them here, Financially Irresponsible.
Yes.
And
still reading it. Guys, he's got a real book. You know, some people, they have like a workbook, like Corey and I are like, oh, we got some resource guys. He got a real book with a lot of pages, words on every page, all that good stuff, chapters.
No cave drawings for you, Phil.
And it's like valuable stuff here.
And
go ahead, Corey. I was just gonna say something about the TED Talk. I'm jumping ahead.
One of the great things about Rahkim's book, that the people that have read his book and left reviews, check out his reviews on the book, they say that he has an intriguing way of telling his own personal story and weaving that into calls to action to help people change their mindset as far as financial empowerment is concerned. Mm-hmm. So, Rahkim, can you talk about your journey to this book, to authoring this book, Financially Irresponsible?
Absolutely. So, again, Rahkim Sabree. I grew up in Mount Vernon, New York, 914. Mm-hmm. My parents were very young parents. I tell this story all the time. They were 17, 18 years old when I was born. They moved from the Midwest to New York. And, they were learning how to raise themselves, right, in addition to raising me and my siblings. So we didn't talk a lot about money, and I don't think that there was a lot of knowledge as it relates to how to manage money because they were figuring it out. And, fast forward to 2011, I started as a part-time teller in a bank, and just my worldview opened up from a culture shock perspective, in that a lot of the things that I didn't think was attainable or within reach became suddenly attainable and within reach. So I became very passionate about immersing myself in as much financial knowledge as I could. I read the book Rich Dad Poor Dad. I went to some seminars, and then as I learned more, I started talking to other people, friends, family, peers, and realizing that what I was saying was going over their head. So I said, okay, I'm learning, but I need to bring the people that I'm surrounded with up to my level. And that's where I developed a passion for educating people, not only on financial literacy, but understanding what are the roadblocks to feeling empowered. How do we start aspiring for more, or raising the bar in terms of what is considered an accomplishment? And so the last, I would say, 2 to 3 years, I've been very active in the public space, building a personal brand, working with different brands, contributing to publications, featured, just getting my hands and my name in front of as many people as I possibly can. So leading up to the creation of Financially Irresponsible, I was already an author. I wrote a book the year previous, and I started working with a consultant. And I was pretty determined not to write a book on personal finance, believe it or not. It was just kind of consuming my entire life. And I was like, I don't want to be the finance guy. I don't want to be the finance guy. And so the consultant says to me, he says, Rahkim, you're in an airport. Somebody walks up to you and they say, hey, I need a speaker in the next 30 minutes. You can name your price. What is it that you're going to talk about? I told the only thing that I could talk about with that short notice is personal finance. And he said, that's what you need to write about. And so we started the journey to writing Financially Irresponsible. It was definitely strategic. I knew what the desired end result was before I even started putting pen to page. He said, "What do you want this book to do?" And I said, "I want this book to have the same impact on other people that Rich Dad Poor Dad had on me. I want this book to get me in TV." And he said, "Okay." And so that's how we came up with the color scheme. That's how we came up with the title. And then I'm very passionate about kind of looking at things from the perspective of what my grandfather referred to as the 3 degrees, right? Spiritual, mental, physical. So I divide the book into 2 parts where I address what is your spiritual and mental relationship with money, and
Mm.
then what is the application, right? The physical piece. How do you go out and execute on these strategies? The last thing that I'll say in terms of the book is that I was very intentional about making it known who my audience is. So when you look at like the Rich Dad Poor Dads and all of the other quote unquote financial guru books, the audience in mind is not Black people. And so I
Yeah.
wanted to make sure that I created content that was specifically geared towards Black people and other minorities who have experienced oppression, particularly financially, in saying that, yes, I acknowledge that there are roadblocks and obstacles that prevent us from being as successful, but these are the ways that I've learned how to navigate around that. And so everybody can benefit from the text, but I have a specific audience in mind. And even, looking at the cover of the book there, very subtle, but very intentional red, black, and green on that cover to
Yeah.
reflect
You know,
the unity
I'm
of
going
Black
to
people.
share while you talk about that. I'm going to share the cover of the book with the audience so that way they can see it on the screen. So like you're saying that the color scheme and everything, explain that to us so that way while we're looking at it here, I'll just enlarge it a little bit. Of course, this is right here on your website. This is where I'm looking at it from, and there are reviews underneath. So that way our audience, when they go to your website, they can scroll, they can see info. But yeah, go ahead and tell us about that because I'm just thinking like, oh yeah, there's a cool book. Let me choose the book by its cover. But Corey, just so that you know, the words are white on the front, Rahkim Sabree, underneath it, Financially Responsible. And then there's him. It's like a cartoon image, so to speak. So of course his face is brown. He's got a black beard, mustache, goatee a little bit, and then he has a red shirt on, a red collared shirt.
Mhm.
He's holding a black credit card in his hand or a bank card. The background is green, and there are images on that background, like white etched images. So that is just the outline of them. And so tell us a little bit about that, Rakim. I'm describing it to Corey because he can't see, but you describe it to us based on the way that you were thinking when you guys were designing this strategically, because we got people out here rhyming, talking about money earning Mount Vernon, since you're from there, and hey, it rhymes. And then in Tavi in South Africa is saying, wow, very inspiring, Rakim. Financial education is essential, especially our Black community. So yeah, tell us a little bit more about, like you're saying, the book design, all of those strategic things, why it's important to you, especially as an author, why it was important to you to look a certain way, to appeal to a certain group. And I know that also relates to your job at the bank as well. So go ahead and give it to us.
Yeah, definitely. So um, I'm just kind of going through a bunch of thoughts right now. Symbolism is very important to me. It's something that I was raised to kind of take note of and identify, and it's something that we, people in general, are facing every single day, right? There's a barrage of subconscious and subliminal symbolism that we are interacting with unknowingly, but our subconscious is knowing, our subconscious is reacting to that symbolism. So when you talk about um, why am I putting an image of me on the cover of both of my books? Well, the intent behind that is to say, like, yes, I'm a Black man and I am doing whatever it is that I'm doing, right? The first book was around mentoring, the second book was around personal finance, but getting people to associate my name, my face with my brand. So that was important
Mm.
because representation is important, especially in financial education efforts. Um, in terms of the red shirt. So that image was created by somebody that I use for freelance, but it actually came from a picture. And in the picture, I'm wearing a blue suit and a white shirt. And I said, I want you to change this up a little bit, make it look different. So
Right.
the red, of course, coincides with the red on the red, black, and green flag.
Mm-hmm.
But it stands out against the green background. So you have the elements of red, black, and green, of course, on the
Right.
cover. But the
Nice. I
green,
like it.
when people hear green or people see green, what are they thinking of subliminally? They're thinking of money. So I
Right.
wanted to
Progress, money.
definitely have that be like the dominant color. So people see that green background and they're like, whoa, that's a loud cover. And it has an even louder title, right? I'm talking about
Mhm.
money as a financial professional or somebody who is considered quote unquote an expert in the space. Why am I talking about being financially irresponsible? And really, that was
Mm.
kind of a play on strategy. So, a lot of the strategies that I talk about in the book would be considered financially irresponsible by traditionalists in the financial world. But those strategies have propelled me to the level of success that I've realized. And so, my question that is kind of like an unspoken question in the title is it financially irresponsible for you to accept blindly what traditionalists will say you should be doing with your money? Or should you be inspecting
Mm.
your process and kind of charting your own path?
Right. Love
Now,
it.
you've actually, like I said, financially responsible. It tells your story and
Financially irresponsible.
financially irresponsible. I said irresponsible. I kind of ran it together.
Right.
Financially irresponsible. It tells your story, and you have. I know you in the book and in your TED talks. We'll talk about that. The TED talks. You actually were featured on a TED talk, and you actually told the story where you said that you decided to be poor at the age of 15. And I'm not gonna give away the whole story because I want people to actually check out the book, check out the TED Talk. But that shaped you as a young person. And then when you say you broke out of that mode working at the bank, you start to develop different strategies to assist you in breaking out of that mindset. And you now have different tiers of information that you can actually present to people that can actually break out of that mindset as well. And so the website lays it out perfectly. But tell everybody about how you go about your services.
Well, hold on, Corey. I gotta also say hi to some people because they're coming in here. We've got definitely we dropped his website into the chat, guys. So definitely go and check that out. Giselle is saying hello. Hey there from Florida, Giselle.
Giselle.
She's a gardener and she was co-signing when you with everything that you were saying about, you're intentional with your cover, your color scheme. People need to see who the financial gurus are. Representation does count. And so Giselle is always planting and growing. So she takes physical seeds, grows food, and then she also grows money seeds too. She was hosting Deborah Green talking about those good stuff. SD and H99 says, hiya, hey there, how you doing today? So happy to have you here. And then the money lady, Deborah Green, says, your picture on the book will also direct us Black people to want to read your book and gain more information towards our finances. So thank you for that. And Tavi says, well thought of branding for your book. Nice one. Green is money. She had all the bags of money there. Another business lady in the house. Till it to the top.
Till it to the top. You don't stop. Till it to the top. You don't stop.
So Tilly is Ghanaian. She's building her house in Ghana as we speak, and she has all the stuff on her channel about building. What are the steps? Like specific things from foundation to building blocks. Where you get the products from, the costs of things. She builds groups. She builds a lot of things, and so it's a really nice thing to have her on here today. We definitely want you to add to the building the building blocks of this. So I know Corey says you work at the bank, and we want to hear about the different tiers, how we can direct people and all of those good things. But Shay says this intro alone, she's ordered both books right now.
Thank you.
Right. Most personal finance books are not culturally competent. Experience is relatable to our communities. Hey there, Tanika Lee. She says, happy Grand Rising fam from the West Coast. Hey.
West Side.
So she is in here. Good.
Make sure y'all smash that like button and share this information, share this broadcast, because you know, to introduce to some and reintroduce to others, Mr. Rahkim Sabree and all his wonderful services and advice he's given to financially empower individuals.
Yeah, you know what? I'm going to also share your TED Talk with everyone. So tell us about some of these tiers. We're not going to hear the TED Talk. We're going to see the TED Talk, and I'll drop the link so that they can also hear. They can go to it, at their own leisure, because the people that are here on YouTube are YouTube folks. Guys, Rahkim does have a YouTube channel, so you can subscribe. That way, whenever he drops things in there, you can see them. So tell us about those tiers of, where people are, how they can adjust their mindset to even get into this space of being financially responsible. What are some of those building blocks that you provide? Yeah.
Sure. So I'll tie it into a story actually. A couple weeks ago, so I'm very active on Instagram and Twitter. A couple weeks ago, I get a DM from somebody I've never met, somebody who's not following me. And it's, as soon as I wake up, like I open my eyes, I check my phone, and I see they left a message that said, "I don't have any money. How can you help me?" And it kind of took me aback for a second, because I'm like, well, that's entitlement. Like, you're coming into my DMs and basically demanding that I provide a service for you. But I realized in that moment that I needed to have an articulated list of services that go from no cost and low cost up to what premium looks like. And so the answer to your question is there's a lot out on the web in terms of the work that I've done, different podcasts that I've been featured in, different articles that I've written or that I've been featured in. So if you type Rahkim Sabree into Google, there's going to be a whole bunch of things that come up, and all of that is free, right? That's in the free tier. I also publish regularly on Instagram and Twitter, like I said, my thoughts, perspectives, or just insights around personal finance, entrepreneurship, and business leadership. So somebody who's never heard of me before, they're going to want to go to the free stuff, right? Because they want to kind of get a sampling of who I am. Next tier is low cost. That would be my books, right? So Financially Irresponsible is priced at $15. It's not a huge investment, but it gives you kind of a glimpse into what is my background, what are the obstacles that I've overcome or have learned to navigate through. And then it kind of lets you know whether or not you're kind of feeling where I'm coming from, and if you want to work with me more intimately. Outside of that,
so I have a question. You were saying like with Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, your most active space is Instagram. So if people are like, right now, I don't have any money, how can you help? They can definitely hop over to your Instagram page, kind of get a feel for things and start right there. So I'm sharing that. Yeah, I'm sharing that with everybody. I'll drop it in the link. There are some gems there, so guys, hop on it, get the info, or just share it with folks. Speaking of sharing, we got Kojo Bentel in the house. Osofo, he's in Ghana also.
Oh, the Kojo Bentel in the house?
No, Osofo.
Osofo.
That's the Ghanaian word. Corey, we got to teach you some languages. Oh, you got to show off a little bit also. You know some words.
You want me to do that whole rhyme thing?
You can. He'll probably know what you're saying. This is like, we're giving you like the Rahkim version. If you need free, we're giving you free right now. Go ahead.
Now, Sofo, don't. I'm not to mix English with tree, but okay, here we go. Me or Dwayne has a kind. Me or time, my or Dwayne. So I cut off his kind with my sakine.
All right, Tilly might know what you said too, but anyways, Rahkim. Don't mind us, as you see.
We're just playing around.
We don't know how to act on here.
But so you have the free tier, and then you have the affordable tier, which are your books. The free tiers are the things that people can Google Rahkim Sabree.
Yeah, I'm gonna take this off, guys. So go to Kojo Bentel's channel. You get free stuff there too. So let's go to the next tier.
Third tier.
So I recently released a course called Improve Your Money Mindset. So it's a masterclass, and it really walks through mindset as it relates to money. So I'm not talking about money, I'm talking around money. But what I find is necessary, especially in our communities, is that we need to address what is our mindset. And that's a development that's occurred through generational traumas. So I frequently reference in my book the work of Dr. Joy DeGruy and her post-traumatic slave syndrome, and drawing parallels between what is generational trauma and how
Mhm.
we navigate the world, but specifically how we navigate our financial spaces, how we view finances, and how we engage with that. So I try to undo the damage, and it's a big undertaking, right? We have 500 plus years of damage psychologically. Undo some of that damage and empowering people to inspect their beliefs about money, learn how to leverage fear as a resource, learn how to leverage the law of attraction, and getting out of a poverty mindset, being able to identify and getting out of a poverty mindset. So that's a little bit of a higher price point. The course
So
at present is $197.
I'm going to share
Uh,
that course because it's on your site, right? Like if we go to your site,
yep,
then the home screen is here. But when we click over at the top, we can go to the books, and then that just shows us the two books that are available on Amazon, Barnes and Nobles. There are the reviews there. And then we can click on training, and that's where we find the course. Scroll down, and your TED Talk is there as well. And so the course right there, buy now, improve your money mindset masterclass. Nice.
So you have the free tier, which is you can Google Rahkim Sabree and find his information, or go to Instagram. You have your affordable tier, which is your books. Then we move into your next tier, which is your master
we're
courses.
dating now, right? You're spending money because we're dating.
You're dating. You're buying the champagne and all, taking the fancy dinners and going to movies and things like that. So now,
Right.
now you're getting married. So to marry Rahkim Sabree and his financial empowerment coaching, you have the coaching. That's your fourth tier, right?
That is, yes. And so I have programs as short as 30 days, but really kind of 8 and 10 week programs is where the sweet spot is. And in the coaching, and then I get questioned a lot, in the coaching, again, 90% of what we're discussing has nothing to do with money, has everything to do with what your mindset and your approach to managing money is. There's a lot of information out there that is financial literacy content, free information. And so I would not charge people for something that they can go on Google to find. When people want to work with me as a coach, they're looking for accountability, they're looking for clarity, they're looking for information, maybe a little bit of hand holding. And so you're leveraging the decade of experience that I have in the space on an industry level, and just in terms of my own personal experiences and my own personal studies. And you're getting that personalized, kind of catered interaction with me. Usually these interactions occur via video, so we're looking at each other face to face. I get to see the ugly cries if there's ugly cries. I get to see the laughs and the smiles if there's laughs and smiles.
So
And
is
then you have
that is that what happens when they schedule the discovery call? Is that what they're ordering then? That's where they're scheduling this appointment with you, for those private services or one-on-one
for
services,
the
I should
most part,
say.
yeah. So I think in the discovery call, we're feeling each other out, right? We're getting to determine if each other is a fit, right? Because you have to be a fit for me too. If I'm committing 8 weeks to 10 weeks of my time, 12 weeks of my time
Right.
with
So
somebody, I want to make sure that this is somebody that I want to work with.
got
So
it.
that
So
these interactions are usually there's a coaching agreement sent, so it's a contract. And in those interactions, it's like, okay, I'm committing to giving you this for this price. You're paying me, and if I realize at week 5 that I can't stand you, like I have to work through that, right? And vice versa. I haven't had this experience, but I'm sure that there are people out there who will not like my coaching style. And with that, we want to make sure that basically the rules of engagement are set, that I'm able to deliver on what you're looking for, but that you're going to be somebody who is coachable and who is going to take action on what it is that I set out as deliverables.
Now, speaking
nice.
of coachables,
Hold on, Corey, because people are in the chat just chatting it up. And we also, I don't know if your question is going to address what David says, because David said, "We're glad to have you, Rakim. So much to give. Please give us one of your money-making gems." So I don't know if you were going to ask.
that's where I was going to go. I was going to say,
Well, wait a minute, because the folks have been there, like, they were hyping you up. Kojo Bensel said, my brother is dropping some tree. Tilly to the top was like, oh Lord, tweet, awesome. But Kojo was like, sorry, I gotta run to the altar because they do sacrifices every Friday. So y'all go to the channel, see what you can find out over there. I won't tell you everything. I won't tell you who gets sacrificed. All I can say is if Corey don't act right and y'all notice he's missing on the show and it's a Friday,
I'll gladly go to the altar.
No, that's not. We won't be.
But what I was trying to say in tweet was
it's on the screen. The kids put it in there.
They did? Okay, good.
My
good.
sheep has 4 legs, but I hate it, so I cut his legs off. How do you say?
With my knife.
Oh,
Sakine is knife.
Oh, Sakine? Okay. Got it. Poor Giselle. She says, come on, Corey, no coffee this morning. Like they trying to get it together. Poor, what's the girl name? Tanika Lee. Her head is hurting from being late, from being up late last night. She didn't have her coffee. So, Giselle's trying to advise everybody. She's telling them drink coffee. She hasn't had hers. She's also telling them get their vitamins. We need everything that we can do and of course that we can get. And of course, Phil is also in there saying Rahkim is dropping some real jewels. David says this is gold, so give it to us.
Speaking of jewels, like David was saying, some money-making tips. As a financial coach, just like with athletics, you have different techniques and strategies. What are the top 3 strategies you would give some, like a rookie that's looking to enter financial responsibility? What are the top 3 things you would tell them to start with?
So number 1 is find out where you are. I think a lot of people are kind of looking to get to the next point, but they don't know what they're standing on in terms of foundation. So it depends on the angle that you want to approach, but I'll use credit as an example. That was kind of like my entry point into the space. In order for me to build credit to a point where, I was satisfied, I had to know where I was at from a credit perspective. That involved me pulling my credit report. That involved me looking at, finding out what is the credit score, what are the aspects that make up the credit score, and then how do I take action from there? So I think first and foremost, I would want people to find out where they are. Secondly,
just to piggyback off of that, the person that asked this question, sorry, David, those are some of the things that he was talking about.
You said David Hunt.
No, David Hunt said this is gold. David Hunt is just like.
So David Asari who's asked the question. I'm sorry.
Yeah, David Asari. We always have a lot of Davids up in here. He was talking about money making gems, and he told us, where we can go to find out our credit score. He said exactly what you're saying. So neither one of you are lying then, because you're backing up his info, he's backing up your info. This sounds like a solid first step, since everybody keeps, saying this is it. So give it to us. Find out where your credit is.
And more than just your credit. I mean, some people may have no credit, some people may have great credit. But when you look at what are your expenses, what is your budget? Do you have a budget? And so kind of finding out what are the inputs and the outputs. The first step to establishing a budget is figuring out what does your income look like against your expenses, and then how do you maneuver within that space to create either more room for other expenses or to find out if you need to increase your income. So definitely finding out where you are, and then this leads into my next one, coming up with a plan, a strategic plan. Some people can do that on their own. Some people need to enlist the aid of others. But coming up with a strategic plan says, okay, this is where I am. This is where I want to be. Now, what do I need to do to make that happen? Quick story relating to me. When I was 21 years old, I started working in banking, as I shared. And my manager at the time was maybe 2 or 3 years older than I was. And she was a homeowner. And I was completely blown away because as you shared in my TED Talk, I say at 15, I aspired to be poor. And what I meant by that was I wanted to survive in the way that I was witnessing and observing my mom surviving. I wanted food stamps. I wanted Section 8. I thought that was making it, that I would be able to be self-sufficient based off of subscribing to these programs.
Right.
And when I'm looking at somebody who's within 5 years of my age owning property, well, that's the culture shock that I made reference to. So at that point, I said, I want to be a homeowner in 5 years. And so then I started down a path, I'm giving you the exact advice that I follow from myself. Find out where I am, right? My credit,
Mhm.
I knew that that was a factor in buying a home. Income, I knew that that was a factor in buying a home. And then figuring out what is it going to take for me to get to that place by the time that I wanted to get there. Now, I wanted to be a homeowner by the age of 25. I became a homeowner at the age of 26. So,
Hey,
you know what I'm saying? Like there's,
congratulations. Yeah.
thank you. So there's a little bit of a deviance from the plan, but there was a plan, and I was executing on what that strategy looked like. And then the last
So
piece, go
I
ahead.
want to add, yeah, I just want to add right there because, a lot of people will say, "Oh, but I don't want to I don't want to buy a home." But like you're saying, that was one of your goals. That was one of your plans. Let's say if Deborah Green is telling Tanika Lee, "I'm so proud of you and your family for getting your plan of escape and moving towards freedom." Tanika Lee, her husband and child, they're planning on moving out of the country. That's part of their plan. Same thing with Deborah Green. She's moving to another country. And so if that's your goal, if that's your plan, you have to figure out what your income, what your outcome is, find a budget. Like you said, there's lots of free info online. They can go to Rahkim Sabree's Instagram, his Twitter, his Facebook. All those spaces are free. They can go to your website. And of course, there are plenty of other Google spaces. Um, and then, like you're saying, get your budget together, get your goals together, strategic plan, act on it. So that's what strategic plan means. It doesn't mean, think about coffee. Say like Giselle is saying, I can't have coffee. It'll cause me to have a migraine. But yes, everyone else, you need your coffee. Stick to the vitamins. You know what I mean? But for her, she's like, it ain't for me. But here, if this is for you, everybody get what you need. And she's even helping everybody. You can get a free credit report once a year. I know there's so many different places you can get a credit report. Elizabeth is in there too, Corey.
Where in the world is Elizabeth?
She's a world
Oh, I
traveler.
forgot Giselle, my belle.
Oh, that's Giselle's song. I don't know where Elizabeth is. She might be in Dubai. She might be in Ghana. She might be in South Africa, Malawi. We don't know.
So
All we know is on to the next step.
you gave us step one, which is find out where you are, what your foundation is. Step two, come up with a strategic plan. And
Whatever your goal is.
rookie advice number three is
Build a team. And that's my call to action in the TED Talk. And building a team looks different for everybody. But I think it is a nice succession from the previous goal, right? If you don't know where to start in terms of creating a strategic plan, you can use a blueprint of somebody else, right? So in
Mm-hmm.
my example, the person that I modeled my behavior after was somebody within a couple of years of my age, but that gave me the reassurance that I needed to say, you know what, if they can do it, I can do it. So we didn't sit down and have a conversation where I said, hey, what is it that I need to do to get where you got? It was me observing, but it was also me being proactive about what is it I consumed, right? So I'm
Mm-hmm.
going out and I'm going to seminars, I'm paying for courses, I'm buying books, I'm listening to podcasts. So when we talk about building a team, yes, ideally it would be nice to surround yourself with mentors, financial professionals, or other people, maybe colleagues, friends, family, who are doing what it is that you want to do. But if you don't have access to that in your immediate surroundings, well, you can create a team based off of things that have been already published or things that are being published. I can be a part of everybody's team based off of their tapping into the resources, whether they're paid or free, or I can be a part of somebody's team directly by them hiring to work with me, right? So when I talk about my team, I talk about the different influences that have shaped what is my knowledge base. I talk
Mm-hmm.
about who was my realtor when I was buying property, who was my lender, who was a financial advisor that I worked with, who are my CPAs or tax accountant, right? So you get pieces of information from all of these specialized professionals that help shape what is your strategy and your approach. They can give you the do's and the don'ts or the cautions around what to avoid, and you can choose to step into it if you want to, right? I said that I did a lot of financially irresponsible things, quote unquote, in terms of
Right.
traditionalists, and I'll give you an example. The average American has about 3 credit cards, right?
Mm-hmm.
At the time of writing that book, I think I had 9 credit cards, so I had 3 times that amount. I may have one or two more since then. So in the eyes of some people, I would be considered financially irresponsible, right? Who needs 9 credit cards? But those 9 credit cards contributed to an 800 plus credit score, right? Those 9 credit cards contribute to over $100,000 in available credit to me at any given time. $100,000 in available credit that I can use to build a business, that I can use to, buy property, that I
So
can use strategically.
So basically, when you say to buy a business or use strategically, you're saying you could use that credit to get good debt because all of those things that you're saying, the business will bring in funds. The home, you might buy a multi-unit home, which in your case, that's what you did. So you could
Right.
use one part to rent, you could live in the other part, then you could cash flow it so that you have cash coming in at the end of it all. And I'm just repeating some of the things that David said last week from Kwame's Trading. Because look, this is the whole point of sharing this information, creating this team. He's like, we need you back, sir. That's what David is saying, Corey.
Which David?
This is David, sorry, Kwame's
Okay.
Trading. Kwame's Trading, David,
Okay.
yes. And, speaking of teams, it's the same thing here. People are in the chat, they're working on teams. Like, for example, Phil is trying to get you on the team to help Corey get his Flashdance leggings collection to the next level. So I don't know. I don't know.
He says that because I tell I design a pair of leggings that has the blue star from Dallas on it.
Right. And so, Phil is chatting it up with everybody. And Corey, just so that you know, Elizabeth is just normally, the ladies are nice. We're like, hey. And David Hunt is laughing with Phil. So I'm like, ha, you too funny. So, they talking trash and everything. But back to teams. Tanika says, Deborah Green, thank you. We're being diligent and doing our best. Thank you so much for those gems you've been giving us from last week to yesterday. It's been helpful. You're bearing good fruit. So just virtually, Tanika and Deborah are working as teammates. Deborah is over here on the East Coast, I think. I forget which region she's in. I think she's East Coast time. Tanika is West Coast time. And like you're saying, all of these different professionals in your realm that are dropping the gems, that are giving you the tools to succeed, hey, they're a part of your team. Deborah says that she is on a no spending month for April, but she just bought your ebook, Financially Irresponsible.
Thank you.
And Deborah will be the first to tell you she's big on frugality. No unnecessary spending. I think all of like last week, Kwame's Trading told us that you're basically saying the same thing. Shine Bright is saying, great advice. Definitely have to have you back. Giselle says, thank you, Cora. I think she likes her song. So that's really good. And Phil says he's going to change his mindset, buy your books, Rahkim, yet he is still going to take those seasonings from me and Corey. We have this set of seasonings that we bought, Cooking with Greens. It's a Black family that has a website, their own brand of seasonings, a whole line of them, and they're phenomenal. So Phil keeps trying to sneak over here, and he's trying to steal for him and a friend. It's like a Robin Hood type of thing,
Right.
not the app. And so he's also asking, can we have a financial week? Like you guys always bring it. He's saying, yes, invest in yourself. And just so that you know, Corey, Tanika is moving to Tanzania.
Okay, all right.
Yeah. So that's where her and her family is going. So
Tanika, if you're married, you fly Delta. Let your husband fly Ethiopian Air.
It's because of the pretty stewardesses, just so that you know. That's why they're saying that. And David Hunt, Corey, is loving it. He says, that's how you invest in yourself. Like, he says, I'm sure that Corey and LaQuita would contribute voluntarily. So in other words, invest in yourself by stealing spices from friends. That's what he's actually.
Stealing is not financial empowerment.
Right. Is that something that you would recommend? I mean, financial fasting. Would you recommend that? I should say not stealing, because we already know stealing is not the way. Financial fasting, what about that?
Oh yeah, I think that's definitely a good strategy, especially at the ends and the beginnings of the year. So a lot of people go crazy, right, around the holidays and start spending money that they don't have or overspending, and maybe they have planned out those spending. And I'm a huge advocate for discretional spending, right? Because if we live in this very like rigid, strict modality of spending everything that we have down to, or saving everything that we have rather down to zero, then we can get tempted and frustrated, and we want to live life, we want to enjoy our money now. So I think those financial fasts are very important, either coming into the year or ending out the year, and periodically as needed throughout the year.
Mm.
I'm coming off of, and I'm fully transparent, coming off of eating out binge. So I
Mm.
ordered out last week because I stress eat, and I had a flood in my house, and it went down 3 levels, and I need all
Wow.
kinds of renovations, and I was just like, you know what? I don't feel like cooking. I don't feel like grocery shopping. I'm just gonna order out. And of course,
Mm.
that racked up a nice bill. I'm ordering out every day for a week. So now I'm like, nope. Yesterday I went grocery shopping, and now I'm cutting down those expenses, especially as it relates to food.
Right.
Because first of all, I need to, but second of all, because it's the right thing to do.
Right, it's the right thing to do. Well, everybody is loving this. We've got to get to our final segment, which is our
Speaking of
plant-based treats.
food,
Yeah, speaking of food, but Real Talk with Ntabi in South Africa says, "Thank you for the amazing show. I've benefited so much from this. Power to financial breakthrough, wise spending, and being money wise. Phil is promising to not steal, just borrow only. So you're changing lives.
yeah.
And and as far as financial fasting, Deborah Green says she does do this every quarter. So 3 times a year she does financial fasting. They're out here shouting, "Eat the open airs." So you got David and Phil started, Corey, but we're gonna get on to our final segment because Tanika has been married to her husband about to be 19 years. She says, "My husband heard you." Wow. That's congratulations on such a long marriage, Tanika Lee. Marriage is one of those commitments. Speaking of being financially irresponsible, how do you call it? Relationship responsible. Just to have a relationship with somebody married that long, just to have a relationship with a friend that long, a job that long, your money that long. So you're on the right path.
So, Mr. Lee, when you go into the airport, let her walk on through the Delta gate. You're like, all right, I'll be right back to the bathroom. And you board Ethiopian Air first class, buddy.
Don't do it, Tamika. Look, don't let your husband hear that part.
Now, when you land in Tanzania and when she finds you, I can't vouch for you on that one.
Let's get on to the secret question of the day.
Mr. Rahkim Sabree.
Yes, in order to get to our plant-based treats, we got to ask you.
How many fruits and vegetables have you eaten today?
I haven't eaten at all today, so 0.
Oh, okay, but you haven't
I
eaten anything anyways.
haven't eaten anything.
All right.
But when I do decide to eat, I will break my fast with an apple.
Oh,
All
nice.
right,
Get
all
it in.
right.
Get it in. Fruits and vegetables at every meal. We try to, encourage everybody to add those, regardless of your lifestyle, what you're eating at every meal. Make sure you got some fruits and vegetables. It will definitely change your life. Well, this has been amazing. We have to say goodbye. And Phil is still saying first class only. And so we are going to have you back. If you grace us again, we'll definitely stay in contact so that we can get some updates and, check in with you as well.
Don't forget to
Absolutely.
check out. Don't forget to check out Mr. Rahkim Sabree's website.
Yeah, you know what? I'll put that into the chat
Follow him
again.
on YouTube, Instagram, and all his social spaces. And of course, share this content with other people so that they can find out what all Mr. Rahkim Sabree has to offer. So we definitely thank you. Any parting words before we let you go?
Yeah, empowerment is crucial. So more than figuring out kind of where you are, building a team, and creating a strategic plan, you want to address what are those traumas, those roadblocks, what are the obstacles mentally that you have towards creating or optimizing your financial future. And I'm here to help.
Right,
Nice. I
thank
love
you.
it. Well, we will see you soon. All right. Thank you so much.
You're very welcome.
Yes, just so you know, Corey, Glenn heard you talking about going to Ethiopian Air, Tanika's husband. She was like, my baby would never do that. We are so joined at the hip. You see what I mean?
Well, drag her with you. Drag her with you, Glenn. Drag her with you.
Let's get on to...
It's time for today's plant-based treat.
Sweet potato breakfast pie.
Cut and cook the potatoes. You can boil or bake them.
Sweet potatoes are an excellent source of beta-carotene, which is a powerful antioxidant. These help lower the risk of cancers like prostate and lung cancer.
The cashews will make it very creamy.
Cashews contain healthy fats that help lower bad cholesterol to reduce the risk of cardiovascular disease, stroke, and heart attack.
I'm going to add flour. Also add in some salt. I'm going to add a little bit of cinnamon.
Cinnamon contains antiviral, antibacterial, and antifungal properties to relieve digestive discomfort with its prebiotic properties.
A tablespoon of sugar. Blend it together so that we have these coarse crumbles. So we've got these coarse crumbles that you can press together. Next, you just add a little ice water.
Add ice water until the dough forms.
2 tablespoons of sugar, tablespoon of syrup, a teaspoon of ginger, a teaspoon of cinnamon, a little bit of nutmeg, add a couple of tablespoons of our flax egg, which is just simply flax seeds and water.
Studies show that eating flax seeds every day can lower the levels of bad cholesterol, and it's a great source of fiber to promote regularity.
We'll add a little bit of milk, about 1/3 of a cup, some walnuts, pecans, and I also took Brazil nuts. Press out the dough into these cups. I did bake the dough for about 10 minutes.
Bake on 375 degrees. I like the crust. It was nice and crispy. I like the nuts in the filling, and I also like the filling because it was sweet.
All right.
All right, everybody. Thanks for joining us on this episode of The Blind Guy.
His wife.
Their Life Live. And some parting comments that were some parting words from our audience.
Yeah, well, Elizabeth is like, yes, food. We've had so much fun with you guys today with our guest, Rahkim. Real Talk with Untabi says, just subscribe. So, we dropped that into the chat, guys. The website is right there in the link. It's in the description of the video as well. And Tanika says, it's funny you mentioned that, Corey, because they've recently been talking about visiting Ethiopia before going into Tanzania.
There you go, Glenn. Soft sell it.
Tavi and is saying yum yum, and Tanika Lee like, oh, this looks so good. Deborah Green, wow, I've got to try this recipe. Try it, guys. It's amazing. It's delicious. It's actually easier, and I felt better about it because of all the ingredients. I felt like, well, this is not just sweet potatoes, sugar, vanilla flavoring, and crust. We had some really beneficial spices. Nuts are very healthy for you, despite what they said. Now they're turning on those tales about nuts and fats. And so, Corey, I've got some parting languages for you. Right. Shay TBD says, thank you, which is Madase. That's tweet.
All right.
From Ghana. Aisabu is Zarma, Ape Eve, and to Rahkim Sabree, great simple 3-step strategy. So she's saying thank you to him as well. And then, and Tavi says, I want to try it without sugar though. Will it be nice? Honestly speaking, my kids liked it because it was sweet. It reminded them of pie. And I didn't use a lot of sugar. I did have agave nectar. I didn't use agave. You can use that. But the table syrup I used was non-GMO. It was a simple syrup. It didn't have high fructose corn syrup. And I've also used that kind as well, the high fructose corn syrup one, because, I do like it sweetened. So just, I feel like it does need some sort of sweetener. You can definitely sweeten with dates because that's a natural food. So you can blend those. And I've made quite a few treats with dates and it's super sweet, like sugary sweet, so that definitely works. We got Robin Hood coming back, Phil saying, David Hunt, I'll borrow those as well.
Yeah.
He coming to steal food from the babies. Yeah. Corey, how do we say goodbye to the folks because, it's Friday. They've got to get their weekend started. Let's go.
Everybody enjoy your weekend. We'll see you next week, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, 11:15 a.m. Eastern Standard Time with more exciting guests. And to say goodbye, we normally say,
oh, I wonder if it does work with honey. It probably would, Shay. Sorry, I just saw that, because the honey is a very good sweetener as well. So yep, you're welcome, and Tavi, and thank you, Shay. And David Hunt is still trying to go along with Phil. Like, yeah, okay, for sure. Helping Robin Hood steal the spices from us. You see how this works? Say goodbye, Corey, before they say something else.
Well, to say goodbye, we normally say deuces, but I dedicate this one to Glenn and Tanika. Run for Ethiopian Air! Deuces!
Wait a minute, what? You said run
for Ethiopian Air.
Run for
the border. Run for Ethiopian Air.
Oh, okay. All right.
So run for Ethiopian Air. Deuces.